Hey friends, who doesn't love hot, crispy tater tots? I bet you've got a bag in your freezer right now, but there's more to tots than meets the eye. Today we're making 6 delicious recipes and they all start with a bag of tater tots. We're making 2 casseroles, some appetizers, a skillet meal, and more. Best of all, they're all made with simple pantry staple ingredients you already have on hand. Let's get started, friends. I'm chopping up a bunch of green onions and these are going to top tonight's tater tot recipe. Loaded tater tots on a stick, or Tat Kabobs, if you will. I'm actually going to prepare it over at my in-laws' house for Papa's birthday party. I'm starting by cooking my tater tots just according to the package directions, and I did season my tater tots with a little bit of this Kinder's, the blend. It's salt, pepper, and garlic powder. About 28 to 30 minutes at 425 degrees, and I do flip them over about halfway through. You want to make sure that they're kind of spread out so they'll keep their shape. Then I'm just going to let them cool long enough till I can handle them. And I'm going to put about 4 tater tots each on a bamboo skewer. And I'm going to line my baking sheet with parchment for easy cleanup. And I'm going to cover these with some shredded cheddar cheese, some of these real bacon pieces. And if you want to go ahead and put some green onions before you bake them up again, you definitely can do that. I'm just going to throw them back in that 425 degree oven for about 5 or 6 minutes. Really just to get that cheese melted, and these real bacon pieces will crisp up because they're real bacon. Then I'm going to top mine with the green onions, serve them up with some sour cream, or if you've got a crowd like mine, they like to dip them in ranch dressing too. This is a really fun and cute little grab and go side dish that is perfect served up at this summer cookout party that we're having for Papa's birthday, or at the holidays. This makes an excellent, inexpensive, quick, cheap, and easy appetizer. We love these. They were a big hit. Now I want to share a recipe that we absolutely love. These are loaded tater tot cups. I'm using a regular size muffin tin that I've greased, and I'm putting 5 tater tots in each cup. If you want to make these in a mini muffin pan, use 3 tater tots per each little cup. Gonna bake them at 450 degrees on the bottom rack for about 10 minutes. Gonna let them set just a second. Then I'm taking my vanilla bottle because it is the perfect size, and I'm gonna squish these little tots down and make like a well or a cup out of them, where they kind of come up the sides and then form a cup. I thoroughly washed my vanilla bottle, but if you have a shot glass or even a tart maker, that works really good for this too. But I always go back to this bottle because it's the perfect size. Once you get all of your tots smushed down into your cups, we're going to bake them about 15 more minutes in that 450 degree oven, and they're going to come out really nice and crispy. I'm going to fill mine up with some shredded cheddar cheese, just like we are going to make potato skins. I'm going to put them back in the oven for 4 minutes. When you pull them out, that cheese is gooey and melted, and I'm just going to top them like I would a loaded potato skin. And what is so great about these tater tots, if you have leftover taco meat, barbecue, sloppy joe meat, anything like that, you can fill the tater tot cups with that, and it just gives you a whole nother way to use up those leftovers. And this is not a recipe that I save for parties and just appetizers only. These make a great little side dish along with any meal. My family loves these. If this is your first time here, welcome. I'm Mel, and I'm tickled to have you here. I share quick and easy meal ideas to save us all time in the kitchen. And hopefully we can take some of that time we're saving and do some things that we enjoy. We all deserve a little me time, right? One of my favorite ways to relax is playing June's Journey, the sponsor of today's video. I love to take me a little escape into June's world of mystery and romance. Best of all, June's Journey is a free to download mobile game. You play by finding hidden objects in beautifully decorated scenes, and everything is set in the glamorous 1920s. The main character, June Parker, is playing detective to solve the mystery of her sister's murder. Be ready for lots of surprises from June and her friends all along the way. And in June's Journey, there are plenty of extra events and side games that help you progress further in the game by remodeling your own mansion and decorating your garden island. I first started playing June's Journey when I was waiting for my kids after school at piano lessons or tennis practice, but now that I don't have kids to drive around, I love to take a break in the evenings and sit on my porch swing and relax and play. And this is not the first time I've shared June's Journey with my audience, and a lot of you have told me over the years that you play too. So let me know in the comments what level you're on in the game and what's been your favorite location. I'm at level 254 and I still love Paris the best of all. And if you haven't played yet, you can download June's Journey for free by using the link in my description box, or you can scan the QR code on the screen. June's Journey is available on iOS and Android mobile devices, as well as on PC through Facebook Games. Be sure and download June's Journey for free using the link in my description box below, or again, you can scan that QR code on the screen. Enjoy playing, friends, and thanks June's Journey for being a longtime supporter of my channel. We're making a bacon cheeseburger tater tot casserole, starting with a pound of ground beef. A little over, if you have it, is fine. I'm going to throw some onions in here, and let me show you everything put together we mix in here. I've got my ground beef almost done up, and I did throw some onions in. Just wanted to give you some little helpful hints. This recipe is very easy as it is, but I buy these frozen chopped onions in the freezer section. They used to be 99 cents a bag. I think they're maybe $1.15 or something now, but that is still just a little splurge item that I like to have on hand for when I'm throwing a meal together, like after work, and I just want it super quick. I throw those in recipes. It is a game changer for me. Also, let me season this meat up just a little bit. I put my Auntie Nono's. This is salt, garlic, and onion powder. Love to season my meat with that. But another tip, if you are sitting around one day and you got some extra time, brown up ground beef, drain your grease off, let it cool. You can store that in the freezer as well. Then you have it on hand and ready when you want to put something like this together on the fly. Another little tip, if you're new here, you may not have seen this before. If I want just a little bit of grease drained off some ground beef, I'll just take me a paper towel and my tongs, and I will just blot that meat, kind of get down here in the corner where it all comes out, and get it out right here. That is a very efficient way to do it that kind of saves you some time and some dishes. Now, when you mix up these tater tot casseroles, you want to use the biggest bowl you have. You're going to need it. This one actually takes 16 ounces of sour cream. We're also going to put in 1 can of cheddar cheese soup. If the can of cheddar cheese soup is not enough, we're also going to put in 2 cups of shredded cheddar cheese. And this is actually a little bit frozen. You will see tonight that I did not have all my ducks in a row, so I just had to pull this right out of the freezer. I also did not cook my bacon portion up ahead of time. I meant to do that in the oven, but you know what? I have these real bacon bits. I'm going to go in with that. Calls for about 3/4 of a cup. That is plenty. Before I put in my tater tots, I'm going to season this mixture with just a little Auntie Nono's. I like to get all this portion done and mixed together before I fold in the potato tots. Now you're taking a 32-ounce bag of tater tots, and I just start with about half of this bag. Mix them around a little bit, and then I'll come in with about half of that ground beef. To me, it's just a little easier to mix them in like this a little bit at a time. And the ground beef really helps, you know, it just mix in because mine is still nice and warm. Here comes the rest of my tater tots and the rest of my meat. Let's get that little bit of onion and grease out of there. Now we got to get muscles on our muscles and get all this stirred in together. Now this goes in a 9x13 pan. I've got me a bigger one. This, I don't even know what size this is, but it is bigger than a 9 by 13. And this is the heaviest darn mixture. Now, the reason that I like to use this pan that's bigger than a 9 by 13 is because I like my casserole to be more spread out, because I like my tater tots to get a little bit of crispiness to them if they can. So you can see it fills this up perfectly. It would definitely fill up a 9 by 13. This is great to take to potlucks. It's great for weeknights, like I said. Now, something else you could do at this point, you could just take half of this. Honestly, it would still fill up a 9 by 13. It would just be thinner. Or you could put it in an 8 by 8 and you could cook that up for tonight. Then take one of those freezer pans and put the other half of it in that and put it in the freezer. This is a perfect make-ahead meal. You could make it just a day or two in advance, stick it in the refrigerator and cook it, or put it in the refrigerator, thaw it, and cook it up months later. Now, I'm going to put this in a 350-degree oven for about 50 to 55 minutes. This little boy, he takes a minute to bake because he is a big one. I absolutely love this casserole. There is no better flavor than ground beef, potatoes, and cheese. So homey, so good. You could totally customize this for your taste, adding in rotel, peppers, anything like that, but this is my family's favorite way to have this. I went ahead and made this early at lunch and had a little plate. Then when I came back in from running errands later that night, all I had to do was throw a salad together and reheat this for my family. We absolutely love this dish. Let's make a Sloppy Joe Tater Tot skillet. You want to be sure and start out in an oven-proof skillet, and I'm browning up 1.5 pounds of ground beef, half of a diced Vidalia onion, and a diced red bell pepper. I'm just going to cook this until my meat is done and my veggies are nice and soft. You want to drain off any of the excess ground beef, or I'm just using a paper towel here to soak up any extra grease. I'm going to add in 2 teaspoons of minced garlic and saute that around just a few minutes until it gets nice and fragrant. This is a basic Sloppy Joe recipe. I'm going to start with 3/4 to a cup of just regular ketchup. I'm going to add in about 3 tablespoons of brown sugar and a cup of water. I'm going to season this up with a teaspoon of chili powder, and I kind of eyeball my ingredients in this recipe. 1 tablespoon of yellow mustard, and a good splash, about a tablespoon or so of Worcestershire sauce. I'm going to season it up with a little bit of salt and pepper. Give it all a nice mix till it's incorporated, and always give it a taste. Mine, I felt like, was not a deep enough flavor for me, so I put in 2 big tablespoons of tomato paste, and I also added in a good bit more of chili powder. I really like a deep, rich, robust, like flavorful Sloppy Joe with the brown sugar and all that. That's what we love. Once you get it to your liking, just take a bag of frozen tater tots. I just chaotically put mine on the top of it and just get them all in one layer. We're going to put that in a 450-degree oven for 20 to 25 minutes. That's long enough for our tater tots to get done and get a little bit of brownness on the top, which we all love. I like to season my tater tots up a bit. Today I'm using Lowry seasoning salt and giving it a really good shower with that. Just a salt, pepper, garlic blend is also good. I'm taking about a cup of shredded Colby Jack cheese and sprinkling that all over the top. A cheddar cheese also works fine. I'm going to put that right back in the oven just long enough for that cheese to melt and get nice and gooey. This is just a deliciously different take on the classic Sloppy Joes. I know I have probably worn my family out over the years on Sloppy Joes. This is really great for the cook too. 1 skillet and you're done. You're not going to have a bunch of dishes. I love to serve this up with just a simple, easy side salad. And if you want to, it's super easy to sneak some veggies like carrots and stuff like that into this mixture as well. You can also turn it into a Tex Mex flavor by using taco seasonings, add in some salsa and black beans, use some queso quesadilla cheese on top. So versatile, so easy. No matter how I make it up, my family will always dive right in. Let's make some chicken totchos. I'm going to start with a bag of frozen tater tots. Spread them out in one even layer on your baking sheet. I'm going to hit my tater tots with some of this avocado spray. I'm just doing that because I want my taco seasoning to stick, and I don't know how much I'm using. I'm just sprinkling it kind of liberally. Then I'm going to give them a little toss and spray and sprinkle them again. You just want to get them nice and evenly coated so they'll all have some of that good taco flavor on them. Probably get those coated a little easier in a bowl, but I'm not making a lot of dishes today. I'm going to cook these at 425 degrees for about 30 minutes, and I'm going to stir them halfway through the cooking process. While our tater tots are baking up, we're going to get started on the toppings for our totchos. The first thing I'm going to use is some of this pulled rotisserie chicken. I buy this in the deli at Walmart and Aldi. I'm just going to take a little bit of this and cut it up into bite-sized pieces, probably just using about a good cup, maybe a cup and a half of this. And I love these little convenient packages of pulled rotisserie chicken breast. Brings just another added layer of flavor to anything that you make with it. And I really like black beans or refried beans on nachos, so I thought we're going to put it on totchos too. I'm just using a canned refried bean, and I'm just going to mix it up a little bit and put it in the microwave to get it warm, just to make it a little bit more pliable so that we can spread it across the top. Then, of course, I'm going to dice up some tomato and green onion. Now that our tater tots are cooked, I don't like to pile them up. I like to keep them, like close together, but still in one layer. Same thing with my nachos. They look prettier piled up, but I like to be able to get to what I want. Got my refried beans warmed up in the microwave, and that just makes them come off a little bit easier here and able to be spread out some. And I don't cover everything completely. I just kind of dot my toppings around here, because when you get a big scoop full of this, you can kind of like dip into it as you're eating your totchos. Got a little bit of shredded pepper jack cheese. This is a great little recipe for using up just bits and bobs of stuff like cheeses you have around. I also just want to put a little bit of cheddar cheese down here. Now I've got my rotisserie chicken. I'm just going to sprinkle it all across the top. You could use taco meat here. You could use barbecue here. Sloppy Joes. You see me do stuff like this all the time, where I take a basic recipe that's made with simple pantry staple ingredients, things we all have on hand, and I just make it a bunch of different flavors or varieties of the same thing. I say all the time that we just take everything that's old and make it new again. Something different. You knew that first round of cheese was not going to be enough. We're going to come back over our chicken with some more cheddar cheese. And let's just finish off this bag of cheddar jack cheese. We're going to slide this right back in that hot oven just long enough to melt that cheese. To me, a pan of nachos is not complete without a nice big sprinkling of green onions. When I make something like this with barbecue, I love to put chopped red onions on it. And I'm putting a little bit of tomato on here. Makes it pretty and bright. Not too much that Patrick can't pick it off though. Big dollop of sour cream in the middle for everybody to dip into. Friends, it just doesn't get any quicker or easier for a busy weeknight dinner. Honey, life is busy and crazy enough. Your kids have after school sports and activities going on. This is a great little recipe to keep in your back pocket. Pantry staples we all have on hand. And if you got leftovers, it's a great way to use them up. Don't forget this little tacho-inspired recipe. One of my family's favorite casseroles is the loaded tater tot chicken casserole. And I'm using 2 cups of some shredded cooked chicken, and I am halving this recipe today. So I'm only adding in 8 ounces of sour cream and a half a can of cream of chicken soup. I will have the entire recipe linked for you down below. It'll take you to my website where you can either pin it to your Pinterest board or print it off. While you're there, be sure and sign up to receive updates and my newsletter. What is a chicken casserole without a little bit of ranch seasoning? So we're going to use about half a packet of the dry ranch seasoning mix. And we want those bacon pieces. And I'm just using some pre-cooked bacon pieces like you find in the salad topping section of your grocery store, about a half a cup of that. And I'm using a cup of some shredded Colby Jack cheese, but cheddar cheese is especially delicious in this recipe. Anything that is chicken, bacon, ranch is great with cheddar cheese too. I'm just going to give all this a little mix together to get it incorporated. And like I said, I'm only using half of this recipe. So I'm just going to stir in about half a bag or a pound of these frozen tater tots, and I did keep them frozen. Just going to get all of those stirred in together and get them all coated pretty well. I've preheated my oven to 350 degrees, and I'm greasing up a 9x13 casserole dish, and I'm just going to turn my tater tot mixture right out into this casserole dish and spread it out. Now, if you're making the full recipe, this is going to be quite a bit taller than what mine is. And if you want to, you can put some more cheese on the top of this before you bake it up. But my unpopular opinion is I like to bake it right like this. I'm going to cook it about 40 to 45 minutes. And those tater tots, because you haven't covered them with cheese again, they are going to get brown and crispy on the top. And that's just what we love. There's plenty of gooey cheese down in there. This is a delicious, quick, and easy meal to put together using a cooked rotisserie chicken. You could even use canned chicken. I just had chicken that I had cooked up in the crock pot. And I always like to put a little bit of fresh green onion on the top of mine. And it's a quick and easy weeknight meal served with a simple side salad, or throw you some green beans or steamed broccoli on the side. This one is a well-loved classic for a reason. Don't forget to download June's Journey for free using the link below, or you can scan that QR code on the screen. I know you're going to enjoy it. And watch this video next if you need some more quick and easy weeknight dinner ideas. Thank you so much, friends, for spending some of your valuable time here with me today. I appreciate it, and until next time, I send you love straight from my kitchen.